My name is Jamie, and this is the vlog for December 25th, 2020. It is 12:13 a.m., so just past midnight. Santa's come to visit, but I was actually going to do a vlog. Okay, as silly as I think this thing is, it keeps my hands warm. My hands feel huge, but they're warm. It's about 60 in the kitchen right now. Anyway, I was going to do a vlog yesterday, earlier this evening, however you want to slice that. Because Christmas Eve took a turn. Um, Everything actually went pretty well up until about dinner time. And then the kiddo got a nosebleed, an epic nosebleed, not from picking her nose, not from bopping it. Wasn't even like the nasal passage we know has so one of her nasal passages we know has a vein that's very close to the surface. So if she picks it or bumps it, it's likely to bleed. So we get that. But it was the other one this time, and it was epic, like epic. And they say if a nosebleed goes past 10 minutes or is really bright and fresh, go to the ER. So kiddo and I spent probably about 2.5 hours at the ER. Yeah, about. Um, we got there. It was starting to bleed a little less, but it had already been bleeding for about a half an hour. Sorry, it's my computer. She wasn't too bothered by it, other than it was a nosebleed. It was annoying to have to hold something on her nose all the time, but they saw us pretty quickly and gave it some time to further decrease. And by the time they got the Afrin, the nasal spray, in there to constrict the vessels, which usually stops nosebleeds, by the time they got there to us, it was pretty much stopped completely on its own, but it was an hour-long nosebleed. Yeah. So, yeah, that was intense because it's COVID days. My husband had to wait in the car um, because only one parent gets to go in, and when there's something wrong, it's mom. So, when there's something right, sometimes it's mom too, but usually when there's something wrong, it's mom. So yeah, so we went in and I saw her through that. When they sprayed the nasal spray up her nose, they didn't think or warn us that it might trickle down her throat against all those fresh wounds from her surgery on Monday. And I told them she had surgery. That was the reason why we were there. Otherwise, it was just a nosebleed and we could have handled it at home. But so yeah, that Afrin went right down her nose, right over all those fresh wounds, and she kept spitting it out because it tasted terrible. Um, and that was just one spray. So after she spit it out, they offered her some apple juice to get the taste out of her mouth. Legit, yeah, it usually worked. Cold apple juice. She took some sips. They made a little smiley face on the cup to try to make it user friendly, I guess. But then she started screaming and crying and like nothing else. She wasn't that upset about the whole thing up until then. They thought it was at first because they traumatized her by just like shooting the nasal stuff up her nose. And I don't blame her. I hate stuff up my nose too. Um, Forgetting neti pots and nasal spray. No, 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 there's got to be a better way. There's got to be a better way. That's a one-way track. Well, oxygen, two-way track, but moisture is and stuff is not supposed to go up it. Just air. So anyway, um, that wasn't the case. So she wasn't screaming because of that. I mean, she was. She was surprised, but she got over that pretty quickly. But she started screaming, going, pointing. So that meant whatever they sprayed was burning her wounds in the back. So I asked for popsicle. They didn't have any, and it's a hospital. It's an ER, but because of COVID, all the floors like don't share resources very much right now. So the popsicles that would probably be next door in labor and delivery were off limits for us. But they were able to finally come up with a cup of water with ice. And so she ate the ice, and that helped tremendously. And we got out of there and got home, but she didn't eat dinner until we got home. So by now it's almost 8 o'clock, 9. She needs to eat before she takes more pain meds to go to sleep. Finally got her asleep by 10, but my husband admitted today earlier that he's not feeling very well. It may be because of all the broken sleep we've been getting. Um, so I told him after she was asleep, because it was his night to put her down, to just go to bed. So he took some NyQuil and went to bed. And I'm hoping it's just a cold. It's just tired. Um, I can't let my brain go anywhere else right now. But I know if he is still sick when he's supposed to go back to work January 4th, they will see to it that he is tested and safe and all that jazz. So I did the dishes. I finished wrapping all the Santa presents. I made the living room where we have the Christmas tree and the presents look a little better. The house is unreasonably cluttered right now, which is probably adding to my stress. But we'll get there. I've had a lot of things to take care of, sorting through all the clutter and the immense amount of boxes that seem to come in during COVID era. You know, things that need to happen, and they will slowly. We've got time, and hopefully she'll just keep getting better and better. Um, Tonight was rough. Yesterday had a real rough patch as well. Oh, I said I wasn't going to yawn on these things anymore, but it's midnight. So I am going to finish my cup of tea, do a little word search, and try to get some sleep after I give my kiddo her 12:30 a.m. dose of medicine. So anyway, I'm sure tomorrow will be brighter. We have breakfast plans of eggs and cinnamon rolls and fruit. Sounds really good. We've got dinner plans of Cornish game hen and sourdough bread with balsamic and olive oil dips. And there'll be a veg on the side. I don't know what it is, somewhere in the fridge. My husband tends to cook the fancy stuff. I am happy eating something. So it's very interesting. So he's very particular about different things. I was even thinking about this when I was doing the dishes. I'm very particular, which is fine. We all have our peculiarities, and it's amazing we get along as well as we do. Um, because I am much more flexible about most things. I can stand a decent chunk of clutter. Um, the house is currently getting to a point where I can't take it anymore. Part of that's the kid flitting from activity to activity. Part of that's the fact that recycling only happens every other week. So all the cardboard just piles up and it's kind of a headache. Um, and we'll be going through and giving away a bunch of stuff that she's outgrown and all that jazz. Anyway, I'm rambling and it's past midnight and I would really like to just chill out with this cup of tea, do this crossword and go to bed. So, Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. I might see you later on today. I don't know. We'll see. Fingers crossed. Today was insane. Hopefully tomorrow will be better.